welcome everyone. Welcome to join our online information session for the Communication Leadership Graduate Program at University of Washington. My name is Liao Zhao, and I'm the head of outreach in the program. And we also have our program assistant director, Heather Werko, and 3 student ambassadors join us today. So I will let them introduce themselves first before we start. I will probably pass it to Heather.
Thanks, Leo. Hi, everyone. I'm Heather Werkel. I'm Assistant Director of Academic Services in the program. So I'm the academic advisor for all the students in the program, and I also run our admissions process. So happy to answer your questions today during this session.
Thank you, Heather. Millie.
Hi everyone, I'm Millie, and I'm a current student in the MCDM cohort 23, and I'm also the event and RH coordinator for Comm Lead program now.
Thank you, Millie. Angelita.
Hi everyone, my name is Angel, and I'm also a student for cohort 24, and I'm also in MCDM track, and I'm also a student ambassador here, so feel free to ask me if you guys have any questions.
Thank you. Shen.
Hello everyone, I'm Shen Savannah. You can also call me Savannah. I'm cohort 24 in the MCCL track. I'm also the student ambassador. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome everyone. So just want to share that this is our final session before the round 1 priority deadline, which is coming soon on January 15th. And in today's session, we'll give you a brief overview about our program details. You will hear that from our student ambassadors about their application experience. And then we'll spend most of time into Q&A and to get your questions answered, especially if you have any application question or any other questions related to the program. Also want to let you know that our session will be recorded and we'll send you the recording in a day or two via Eventbrite message, so you can revisit the video later as a reference. So now I will pass it over to Heather to talk more about our program specifics. Heather.
Hey, thanks, Leo. Hi, everyone. Really exciting. We're less than a week until our first deadline. So happy to talk with all of you that are here today. First, I want to go over some highlights about our program, specifically for international students. So we do have a large number of international students in the program. I think right now we have 19 or 20 countries represented, which is very exciting. All 3 of our degrees are designated as STEM degrees. So for international students, this means that you qualify for up to 3 years of work authorization called OPT after graduation. So that's a nice benefit of all of our degrees in our program. We're also a fee-based program. So all students in the program pay the same tuition. There's no non-resident or resident rates. Everyone pays the same price per credit. So that can make it a lot more affordable compared to some programs that have resident or non-resident rates. Full-time students will typically graduate in 5 quarters. So for students coming into the MCDM or MCCN starting this fall, they would finish in autumn 2026 or winter 2027, depending if they take summer off or just keep going. For the MCCL, that program is about 6 quarters full-time. So MCCL students would finish in spring 2027, just to give you an idea of when you might finish the program. About a third of our students do attend part-time while working full-time. So if you are someone who's working full-time and thinking about coming to the program as a part-time student, it's very well set up for that. Our classes all meet in the evenings or on weekends, so your weekdays are free. And for our full-time students, that keeps your weekdays free for either on-campus jobs or internships while you're in the program, so you can get that work experience as well. We do have part-time jobs available within the program. Millie is one of our student employees right now, and a number of positions based on your expertise that can help us run the program. And we have our Comm Lead consultancy, which has typically about a dozen positions every quarter that are available for students. Those are paid positions where you can help an organization with a communication challenge that they're having. So building your portfolio and getting some money at the same time. All 3 of our degrees are also eligible for federal financial aid and GI Bill and all of those kind of financial aid benefits, if you're curious about that. As Leo mentioned, our application deadline, our priority deadline is coming up January 15th, next Wednesday. I get this question a lot, so I'll just say it now. The deadline is 11:59 p.m. Seattle time on the 15th. So that means once the calendar switched over to midnight and it becomes the 16th, then the application would be late. So some people just want to clarify when that deadline is. There's no advantage to submitting early. You can submit on the 15th if you want. We don't start review until after that. So if you still need some time to polish your statement, maybe do another recording of your video, any of that, feel free. And you don't have to wait until your recommenders have submitted to submit your application. So if you're all done with your part, please go ahead and submit, and then those recommendations can come in later. But do make sure if you haven't designated your recommenders yet, do that right away, so they have time to submit by the 15th if they can. We do have a little bit of a grace period, a few days after that, but the earlier you can designate them, the better. And if you need to submit test scores, also be sure to order those right away this week, because those will typically take about 2 weeks to arrive and be matched to your application. So with that, I will put our link in the chat for our admissions information and turn it back over to Liao.
Thank you, Heather, for your introduction. So now let me turn it over to our student ambassadors. I would let them share about their application experience, because I think that's what our prospective students are interested in. So they will share their experience and tips when they apply for the program. So for our student ambassador, I'd like to begin by asking you to tell us a little bit more about yourself, like where are you from, what is your degree check, and also a little bit about your background before you joined Comm Lead. Yeah, Millie, I see you unmute yourself already.
Yeah. Hi, this is Millie again, and I come from Taiwan. And before I joined the Comm Lead program, I work as a product specialist at the tech company for 2.5 years. And during that time, I had the opportunity to work on product development and collaborate closely with a UX designer. And that's the time I've been thinking about maybe I can dive in deeper into UX design. And I just found out Comm Lead is a very unique program that focuses on various areas, not only UX, design, marketing, but also like how to use storytelling to create impact. So yeah, that is like a little bit about me.
Thank you, Millie. Shen, how about your backgrounds?
Hello everyone. I'm from China, and before I was applying for this program, I worked as a social media manager for 2.5 years in the hospital. So my former work experience are like healthcare related. Uh, but I was a film student before, so my background was very complicated, like very mixed. And also when I was working as a social media manager, I found that like in the healthcare area, many people are like patient are facing the problem that they're not getting the information they need. And also that's why when I started to think that maybe I can switch my career into the inclusive design. And so that's why I applied for Comm Lead, because yes, I kind of want to switch my career path.
Thanks. Angel.
Hi everyone. So I'm from Indonesia. So a little bit about my background. I was also an undergraduate student in communication department at UW. So after I graduated in 2023, I had an opportunity to work for a year during my OPT program as an administrative assistant for like a chat company. And then after 1 year, I decided like to pivoted like my journey to UI UX design, and then I searched like a program like through the website for UW, and then I found like MCDM track, which I was like really interested in. That's why I applied like for this program, and also this program also offered me like a 3 years opportunity for work after I graduated. So yeah, this is why like I joined this program. So.
Thank you, Angel. So would you like to also share about how did you prepare for your application, Angel? Especially for the personal statements and short videos.
Yeah, so we were taught like to do like a personal statement and then video for we can choose like if we want to do like a storytelling. And also we were asked like to have like two recommendation letter. And then for the recommendation letter first, I suggested you guys like to find someone who know you guys better, like previous employers or maybe like professors to like person who known you better to give you like some like good recommendation like letter. And then for my applications like preparation, I did like a personal statement, like I think a statement of purpose of why I'm like interested in this program, a little bit about like my background experiences, and also like for the storytelling, we were told like to do like 4 minutes videos, I think. And then yeah, that's like to summarize like uh your storytelling skills and also like your like life's journeys in a short videos.
Thank you. Lily.
Yeah, at first, before I apply for the Comm Lead, I want to find a master degree program which has like a perfect location and a strong alumni network. And I think Comm Lead program is like what I'm looking for. So I just watched the info session recording video on the YouTube, like just like you did now, and like those sharing from the current student to see if this program fit my interest and if this program met my expectation. And yeah, so before I'm comfort that this is what I'm looking for, I just want to let the faculty to know more about me. So basically I share different aspects about myself in personal statement and also the short videos. So to be more specific, I share my work experience and like why I am the good candidate for Comm Lead and what I want to gain from Comm Lead. And I think the other most important thing is that what value I can bring to this program and this Comm Lead community. Yeah, so and on the other side for the short video, I highlighted my international volunteer experience to echo Comlead's value. And like I showed the little handbook I made for that volunteer to make my story more vivid and to showcase my storytelling skills. So yeah, I think everyone should look very carefully what is the like the statement, the short video statement. What are they asking? What is the question they are asking for? And to call back to the question really carefully. Yeah.
Thank you. Shen, how about your experience? How did you prepare for your application?
Uh, I think they already said a lot about the application. One thing I want to say is, like whatever background you're from, don't be afraid. You just, it's like ours. When I get into this program, I feel like our classmates, they're from all sorts of background, they have all sorts of undergrad degrees. So, whatever you did before, no worries. Just try to tell the life story of yourself. I think application is not only a chance for you to like get a degree, it's only also a chance for you to think over your life and what you really want to do in the future, and try to make this degree uh try to tell us why this degree is a great chance for you, and why is it so important to you? Like try to connect it with your own life story. So it is also, yeah, I think it's also a great chance for you to think over your life. And it is also very important to be honest with yourself, and also yeah, try to tell us why you really like this program and why you want to be in this. So that I think that's what I think about the most important while doing my application. Thank you.
Thank you, Shen. That's a good point. Yeah, of course, not everyone comes from communication background. We have really diverse groups. Some come from like engineers, some from English, some studies Germany, like Millie did. So any subject is fine. So for the last question, could you please share one application tip you'd like to share with our prospective students? Millie?
Yeah, I think it's like do your own research and carefully explore the Comm Lead website because I think every program has its own unique identity and the vibe. So from my perspective, when I look at the Comm Lead website, I found that this program truly value authenticity and making a positive impact on the community and even like benefit to the whole society. So I highlight my relevant experience with like social impact. Yeah. And the other tips I want to focus it's not like because English is not my first language. So I also asked my native speaker friends to help ensure my personal statement was fluent and easy to understand. But now we have ChatGPT, so you can use it wisely to check the grammar and clarity. But like you still need to draft your statement yourself and make it as authentic as possible because this is your story and AI is just a tool to help you to refine it. Yeah, so that is my two tips for apply.
Very good. Yeah, about how to take advantage of ChatGPT, but not use ChatGPT to generate your whole personal statement, because we can tell. Yeah, when we 500 applications, we can certainly tell who is writing in ChatGPT. Yeah. Okay. Shen.
Oops. I think what I just shared is kind of like a tip for the application. So, well, I feel like what is important is yes, definitely if you use ChatGPT, it will look very obvious. So because they have like a mode for everything, if you use it, your application, the personal statement will look like, yeah, it's definitely kind of weird. So I think it's very important to be authentic and honest. So if there's, I don't think there's any a certain mode for the personal statement. Just write something that is about yourself, and also try to tell others why you're special and what is different about you. Yeah, so that's that's something I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Angel.
Yeah, so some couple tips from me is like first, we want to know like the program. So I feel like we should like spend time understanding like the tracks and how they align like with our goals, and also be clear about what like why this program is the right fit for you. And also like for the personal statement, I feel like just tell your story is your chance like to shine. So share your unique journey and also like what drives you and how you plan to contribute to the cohort, and also show your work like what you have done, like such as projects, like if you have like UI UX like research or any kind of projects or campaign, include them like in a portfolio. And it doesn't have to be like fancy, but just clear and like professional, I can say like that. And also like get strong recommendations. So like pick people who know you better, like who know your strengths and can vouch for your growth potentials. And last thing, I feel like double check your personal statement before you submit it. Just make sure that you have like written all information that you want, and try like to not submit it like on like the deadline. I mean like last minute, because sometimes you might like forget something, or if there's like an error in your system or something like that.
That's very important. Yeah. Thank you, Angel. Okay, so I hope that we have covered some of the questions that you may have. So now let's move to our Q&A part. Since we have a small group, so if you want to just ask questions by yourself, you're welcome to unmute, turn on your camera and ask directly. Otherwise, like you can send them in the chat box and I will ask them for you. And we can go in the order based on we receive the questions. Okay, we get one question from Rebecca. And Rebecca is asking what type of career paths would you see this master degree benefiting? We have a career direction website that I can share with you very quickly, but Millie, if you want to go ahead to talk a little bit about what you have been observed while I'm sharing the career paths information.
Yeah, for sure. Uh, Hi, Rebecca. So just like what I'm shared before, I study German for my undergrad, but I work as the product specialist at tech company after my graduation. And after that, I want to pivot to UX design. So I think my background is very diverse and I still want to explore more. And I think Comm Lead is a very great program for me to explore because we not only have UX class, we also have the marketing class. So you can pick up the class you want to fit your personal interest. And like I do pick up the class like UX Studio and also the UX Research and Strategy class to help me to gain the knowledge about UX. And those class, we do have the real world project with the real client, and that helped me to get my like summer internship. Yeah, so I think this is a very important opportunity for me. And just like Heather mentioned, ComLead also has the consulting group. So I also work with the small and medium business client to work to redesign their website. And in the end of the project, they also refer me to her company. So this is the opportunity that is value and what ComLead gives me. Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
hope it helps.
Yeah. And I also share the Comm Lead Career Direction link in our chats. So as you can tell from our career outcome from last year, and our students works in many different fields like marketing, PR, and as program management or UX design or internal communication as communication manager or communications consultant or work for media journalism area. And they also work for different type of companies, could be like tech, like big companies like Microsoft, Face Meta, or small startups tech companies, or they also could work for nonprofits like government. So like very, very diverse. And as Millie says, like based on your concentration, like your career path could direct you to different ways.
Thank
Cool.
you. I wanted to just hop on and I had another question, but I figured I could just ask it instead of typing it out. That's very helpful. And I think it's great to know that there's a lot of diverse opportunities. I did have a question about career opportunities while doing the while doing the master program. Are there any sort of like graduate assistant programs that where while you are getting your master's, you're able to work and use that as a financial aid for um,
Of
getting
course.
through your master's? Is there opportunities for that?
For sure. Yeah. Millie is one of our student. Oh, Heather, do you want to share first?
Yeah, I wanted to chime in because there's a very important difference here. We do not have assistantships. So those are, you might like a TA or an RA.
Okay.
That's not something that exists in our program. We do have hourly student assistant positions. So it doesn't have the benefits that like an assistantship has as far as tuition, health insurance, all of those things. It's an hourly rate, and we have a very competitive hourly rate. It's far above the Seattle minimum wage, which is already one of the highest minimum wages in the country. So we do try to pay our students well for those positions, but they are just like an hourly student position.
Okay. Thank you.
And we also have Comm Lead consultancy that we help our students quarterly to work on some real projects for a small business or companies. So those are another type of work within our program. And on Handshake, like UW Handshake, there are many other kinds of like on-campus jobs that students can apply. And we also put together a list of jobs either on campus or off campus in our weekly jobs email. So you're welcome to apply those as well. Cool.
Thank you.
So the next question come from Eric. Eric is asking, what if we don't have anything for a portfolio? Is that something that will potentially hurt your candidacy? Good question, Heather.
Yeah, I'm glad I get to address this because I want to clarify, we do not require a portfolio and we will not consider a portfolio. So please don't submit one. We won't look at it. There is a lot of confusion in the application system because the system that is used by the UW Graduate School called Slate, the section where you upload your video is labeled by Slate Digital Portfolio. And I know this creates a lot of confusion for students because then they think they need to submit a portfolio. That's just what the software calls that ability to upload media. So that's where you upload your interview video response that's detailed on the application materials tab of your application. But please do not submit any kind of portfolio, as honestly, we will delete it because we can only review the materials that are required in the application. We can't review anything extra in fairness to all applicants.
Cool, thank you. Next question come from Mitchie. Regarding the personal statement, would you recommend discussing work experience in the personal statement, considering the website mentions that they already have our resume for reference? Angel or Shen, if you want to chime in to talk about how you discuss work experience in your personal statement. Anyone want to chime in?
Yeah, I can speak a little bit about it because there was like a word limit, like limit. So I feel like just like uh put the main point of your journeys and then just like summarize all your journeys in like one storytelling. So that's how I did. And I also like include my works experience that has related for this program. And also not only experiences, but also like my core value and why I'm passionate to join for this program. So it's also like not the main, it's the main part, but other than that, you can also like put other informations other than your experiences, like your passion, core value, missions, that also like summarize what you are as an individual, like who you are as an individual.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to chime in too that one bit of advice I always give students is keep in mind that the admissions reviewers are looking at your entire application. So you don't want to repeat anything. You want to take every word, every second to give us new information because they're, like I said, they're going to see every material. So give us as much information as possible about you by not repeating anything between the different materials.
Yeah. The next question from Injin is actually related to the question that we just talked about, the personal statement. Because the question is about, should I share some details in work experience or should I focus more on what I've learned, my insights from the previous experience in the personal statement? Yeah, my feeling is both. Yeah, as Heather says, the reviewer will review your application as a whole package. So we definitely love to learn about both. But Millie or Shen, do you have anything else to add on that?
I think for my advice from a personal perspective, for me, because my previous work wasn't so much connected with what I want to do in the future. So I kind of summarized what I did a little bit in the personal statement, but I put most of my attention to why did this work had me to what I want to do in the future. And what did I got inspired from the job and what I've learned from it. So I feel like for me, for my own application, I did more about focus on the what I've learned, my insights. Yeah.
I think I can echo to Shanshan, because like from my resume, I focus and write more about the metric about what I'm doing for my work. But in my personal statement, I followed Simon Sinek's A Golden Circle. I use my work experience as a why. Why they led me want to pursue the master degree, and why that working experience led me want to pursue UX design, why I want to pivot. So I think I also write the insight and not the specific, the detail what I'm doing. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, now I think we have a question about video. Nova would love to hear more tips on the video. If anyone wanna talk about it.
I can say based on feedback from the reviewers last year, please make sure you're carefully reading the prompt of what we're asking for the video and do that rather than just coming up with your own, your own idea for what to say. Because one of the things the video asks for is for you to identify one of the Comm Lead core values that resonates with you and help drive you to apply to the program. So if you don't mention a value anywhere in your video, you didn't follow the prompt. So that's my one tip there is please make sure you read the prompt and follow those directions when you're creating your video.
Yes, exactly, Heather. And I want to echo on that. Also, we just want to, in this video, we just want to learn about your story, learn about who you are. We don't really care about how the production of the video is. So you don't need to edit this video, and please don't. And you don't need to add subtitle to the video. You don't need to waste that much of time. Just a plain video to tell your story. And which says a video of 90 seconds, that means 90 seconds, and don't make it like 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Yeah, we want to be fair to everyone. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I remember at my short video, I used some props. Like I just like mentioned, I show my handbook I made for the international volunteer. So maybe if you want to make your story more appealing, you can bring something it's really related to it. Yeah, because you are not spending time on editing it, but you can just pick something it's related to make more interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some people also choose their background carefully to reflect something they're talking about. So if they're talking about how they love gardening, they're doing their video in a garden, with plants behind them or something like that.
Yeah.
Cool. So next question comes from Laura. Could you please share more about the class profile for Comm Lead, and is it possible to visit class? The question will probably go to Heather.
Yeah, I just shared the link in the chat to our student demographics page that shows you a little bit about, who our students are, kind of where they come from. And yes, you are welcome to visit classes. What we recommend, you can see on our website, I put this link as well, the current quarter classes being offered. So if you happen to be local in the area or you're going to be visiting, you can look at when the classes meet. And then the one thing we recommend is just reach out to the instructor ahead of time to check in with them and say, hey, I'm a prospective student. I would love to visit your class on, January 16th, just to make sure it's a good night for a visitor and that they know you're going to be there. Because some classes, some weeks, they have like a group work night. Well, that would be really boring to visit because everyone's just, working on their projects in a group and it wouldn't be as interesting. So it's good to check in with the instructor ahead of time just to see if it's a good day for a visit. But yeah, you are welcome to do that.
Thanks. Tianshi has a related question, like Tianshi want to clarify that if all of our program classes are happening during the nighttime. Yeah, Heather will have a more accurate answer.
Yeah, I would say take a look at that link I put in the chat for the current quarter classes. Most of them are in the evening or on weekends. We occasionally will have one class that's a little different. So this quarter, we have a Thursday afternoon online class because the instructor who teaches that is actually living on the East Coast right now. So time zone wise, it was a lot better for him to teach at 1 p.m. than 6 p.m. for that class. So occasionally there's some oddity like that, but the majority of classes do meet on a Monday through Thursday, one of those nights, starting at 6 p.m., or on the Saturday or Sunday from 9 to 5 every other week. So the weekend classes meet twice as long, half as often.
So the next question will probably go to Heather again. Rebecca has two questions. One is, what is the rate of acceptance into this program? And the other one is, what type of experiences are most beneficial or likely to be accepted into the program?
Yeah, so what we are looking for every year is a certain size for our cohort, and that's usually between 110 to up to maybe 130 students. Is our goal for how many are going to start the degree that fall, or all 3 degrees that fall. In order to reach that, that usually means about 200 or so offers of admission because we have, some students applying to multiple schools or something comes up and they have to defer. So not everyone we offer admission to says yes. So about 200 offers. So the rate of acceptance really depends on how many applications we get. So last year, I think we got about 600 roughly applications. So about a third of students who applied were admitted in that case. So we never know how many people are going to apply until after the deadline passes, but we are looking for that cohort of about 120 or so students each fall. As far as experiences, we don't require any for the MCDM and MCCL, we don't require any prior experience, so that is not a factor at all in admissions. We're really looking at what are your goals and why is this the right degree, the right path to get you there. So it's more about the future than the past. I mean, you're welcome to mention past experiences in order to outline what your goals are, like what led you to have those goals and what led you to choose that career path. But we're really focused on like, why is this the right step for you in your next step in your career journey? So not really looking at, what you've already done in the past. The one exception is the MCCN degree, the Communities and Networks degree. That one does require at least 2 years of full-time work experience to be eligible for that. And that's because that's curated as our mid-career degree. So it's designed for mid-career professionals who have been working for a while and are coming back to school. And so it has some features of it that expect that you already have significant amount of work experience coming into that degree in those classes. So that's the one exception. But for MCDM and MCCL, anyone can apply based on whatever your background is. As Millie said, she studied German. We've had students who studied textiles, civil engineering, music, like completely unrelated to communication, and that totally fine. They got into the program because they explained what their goals are now and like why this is going to help them get there.
Yeah. Mesha has a more specific question for for themselves. So I'm from India and have completed my undergraduate degree in mass media and followed by MBA. Both degrees were in English, and I have the necessary proof in the form of transcript. So I think they want to confirm if this qualifies them for an examination from the English language test. Heather.
I will unmute. I'm getting a link. So yeah, the graduate school's English proficiency policy has several different ways that you can meet it. First thing to mention there is that only students who say in the application that they are not a native English speaker have to complete this policy. So, students from some countries might consider themselves a native English speaker, and then they would just say, yes, I'm a native English speaker, and they don't need to submit, any of this information. But if you're not a native English speaker, you can meet it either through a qualifying degree, so a degree from certain countries, or a medium of instruction of English for your bachelor's degree. So if it states that on the transcript, great, that's all you need. Some schools don't actually say that on the transcript, so you might need to get a letter from the school verifying that all instruction was in English for that degree. Either way, a degree that was taught entirely in English at the bachelor's level will meet that English proficiency requirement. And I put the link in the chat to that policy where it outlines like all the different ways you can meet the requirements. There's often a misunderstanding where people ask about getting like a TOEFL waiver or a test score waiver. UW does not require test scores. They require that students meet this policy. So there's 4 different ways students can meet the policy. Test scores are just one option of a way to meet that. So there is no test score requirement. You just have to demonstrate proficiency through one of the 4 methods in the policy that I linked.
Thank you, Heather. Judy has one more good question. I think is they're wondering like how to make their applications stand out. And could you please elaborate on what stood out from past applications that secured their admission into the Comm Lead program? I was reviewing the application last year. I'm one of the reviewer, and I would definitely say people who can tell good story of themselves rather than just a copy on what they already did on the resume in a personal statement or video. Because storytelling is so important in our program. So if you can tell that in your application, like personal statement and video, like who you are, why you are unique, and why you want to come to Comm Lead and particular Comm Lead. Sometimes when students write their personal statement, I can tell that probably it would fit for any media programs for any programs, any universities across the nation. So that make us have a question mark, like why we should admit you if you're just interested in media or in communication, and you want to tell us why you want to Comm Lead specifically. And so that will be something that would love to hear, like your story and why you fit for our program particularly. So those are the things that I will pay attention. And also, I would not say stand out, but some basic bottom line is when you talk about our program, make sure that you say our program correctly and you write down our program name correctly. And some people will say, oh, I really want to come to your communication program or a communication lead program or communication administrative program. And that's not our program. And I would know that you didn't do you didn't do research work, and that will probably a no or like a signal for us to send out a reject letter. So yeah, be careful on that when you write about our program's name. Yeah.
Or list another school entirely. I've seen statements where they said, I'm very excited to apply to the University of Michigan. That's great. That's not us. You know? So proofread that statement if you're applying to multiple schools.
Heather, do you have anything else to share?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with everything you said. And to tell everyone, I don't actually review applications. I check them all in and then I pass them off to our admissions reviewers. But some of the big things that I've seen when checking them in are things, like I said, people adding like a ton of videos of unrelated things to that digital portfolio tab in the application just because it lets you. Please don't do that. I have to go in and delete all of them, and then I feel bad that your beautiful video is just gone. So only submit the materials that we ask for. And then something else that does, not necessarily about what makes an application stand out, but just a tip and a reminder. If you've gotten, if you've got your degree in another country and you did a WES evaluation of your degree, you're welcome to upload that along with your unofficial transcript, but you can't only upload the WES evaluation. We have to have your unofficial transcript is what the graduate school requirement is. So you can put that in addition, but please make sure you're also including your transcript from that school.
And also one more tip that I think about when recording your video for the application, I would say relax and give a smile in front of camera, because the reviewers, they rate 100 applications within 10 days or so. So that's very intensive work for them as well. So they might get tired. So if they see like you are very positive, and they will cheer up as well. So that's like a small thing, but maybe will be helpful. Yeah.
And maybe practice a bit so that you're not very obviously reading off of a script during your video. You can tell when someone's faced a little to the side. They're like, I'm very excited about coming to I mean, you can tell when someone's reading. It's okay if you have prompts, maybe bullets, but I might recommend don't write out your entire statement, like video, like what you're going to say, because then you might be tempted to read it. Put like the reminders and highlights of just like a few phrases, and that will help it feel more natural when you record it.
Yeah, agree with what Heather said. Think about your video as a virtual interview. So even if you record it in advance, but you are still trying to engage with someone who is reading your application. So try to show some engagement, at least with the camera in front of you. That will be helpful as well. Think about your journalist also. Yeah. Cool. I think we covered all the questions here. Good luck with your application and take good care of yourself as well. We don't want you stressed out. Thank you, everyone.